Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington, Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news. Guys, if you're a fan of the Commanders, you know that the offseason is always full of surprises, rumors, and strategic moves. But this time, the latest buzz is something that could really shake up the entire NFC East and honestly, have ripple effects across the league. It's about a potential trade that, if it happens, could redefine the roster of the Washington Commanders and set them up for a real shot at a deep playoff run. So, buckle up, because what we're about to discuss is not just speculation. There are real implications here, and it's all centered around the wide receiver position, which, as you all know, has been a bit of a question mark for Washington lately. Now, the core issue, and what really sparked this conversation, is the current situation with Terry McLaurin. As many of you already know, McLaurin is entering the final year of his contract, and there's a very real possibility that he might hold out if things don't get sorted out soon. That's a big concern for the Commanders because McLaurin is not just a star receiver. He's their de facto WR1, a player who has consistently proven his value on the field, and off the field, he's a leader. But if he's sitting out, or even if he's slow to start the season, that could seriously hamper their offensive production, and let's not forget, the team's playoff chances. So naturally, the team is exploring options, ways to strengthen the receiving core to ensure they're not left vulnerable if McLaurin's situation drags on. And one name that's been floated around a lot lately is DJ Moore, a dynamic receiver who could add a lot of firepower to Washington's offense. You see, what makes this potential trade so intriguing is the timing. Right after the NFL draft, it seemed like the Bears had no real plans to move Moore. They had just made significant investments in the draft, Colston Loveland at 10th overall and Luther Burden at 41st. And remember, last year, they took Rome Odun's 9th overall, so it was clear that the Bears were trying to build a young, talented receiving core. Despite giving Moore an extension, the Bears' actions suggest they might be willing to listen to offers, especially since they seem to be stacking up their draft picks and young talent. The question is, what could Washington offer in return? Well, according to some reports and discussions from NFL insiders, the Bears would be willing to accept a second-round pick in 2027 and a sixth-round pick in 2026. That's an interesting proposition because Washington doesn't have a second-round pick until 2027, and a first-rounder in 2026 might be too steep for a receiver like Moore, even with his talent. But here's the thing, this deal isn't just about the picks. It's about the strategic fit, the immediate impact Moore could have on Washington's offense, and how it aligns with their current roster. With McLaurin potentially holding out, the Commanders need a reliable, proven weapon. DJ Moore fits that description perfectly. He's a player who, despite some ups and downs, has shown flashes of being a top-tier receiver in this league. He's got the speed, the route-running ability, and the hands to be a true WR1 if given the opportunity. And if you look at Washington's current roster, it's clear that they're still very thin at wide receiver. They have Deebo Samuel, who was acquired last year and on his best days can make a difference, but he's not a consistent WR1 yet. Noah Brown is there, but he's more of a depth piece. So adding Moore would give them a true number one receiver, one who can immediately elevate the offense and take some pressure off Samuel and others. Now, let's talk about the implications. If this trade happens, it's not just about adding another receiver, it's about strategic flexibility. With Moore in the mix, the Commanders could keep McLaurin, or they could decide to trade him later if things don't work out or if the right offer comes along. That's a key point because, right now, the team is in a position where they need to hedge their bets. If McLaurin is not available, Moore is a perfect insurance policy. And of course, the hope is that both can coexist and thrive together, creating a formidable 1-2 punch that could rival the best receiving duos in the league. Think about it, Moore and McLaurin, both at their peak, could make the Commanders' passing game one of the most dangerous in the NFL. Plus, Moore's contract runs until 2030, with his first out not coming until 2028, which gives Washington plenty of stability and flexibility. And here's where it gets even more interesting. The addition of Moore could be a real game changer when it comes to playoff odds and Super Bowl aspirations. After a solid first year with the Commanders under quarterback Jaden Daniels, the team was already looking like a playoff contender. FanDuel has them at -130 to make the 2025 playoffs, which isn't bad at all. But with Moore in the fold, and assuming McLaurin can stay healthy and motivated, those odds could improve significantly. In fact, some projections suggest that adding Moore could push Washington's Super Bowl odds to +2100, making them the seventh most likely team to win it all, just behind teams like the Rams and Lions. That's a huge step forward for a franchise that's been craving a deep postseason run for years. It's also worth noting that, if Washington manages to keep both Moore and McLaurin, they can build a balanced, explosive offense that can attack defenses from all angles. Samuel would still slot into the WR3 role, providing versatility and speed, while the tight end position continues to develop. The offensive line, which has been a point of concern in recent seasons, is also expected to improve, giving Daniels the time he needs to find his receivers downfield. All of this creates a perfect storm for a team that's hungry for success and eager to reestablish itself as a playoff contender and potentially a Super Bowl favorite in the NFC. Of course, nothing is set in stone yet. The trade discussions are ongoing and the Bears aren't actively shopping Moore at this moment, but the rumors are persistent and the logic behind them is compelling. If the deal goes through, it would be a bold move by Washington, but one that could pay off immensely. Remember, the NFC East is no longer just about the Eagles and Cowboys. The Commanders are positioning themselves to be serious contenders, and acquiring a player like DJ Moore could be the catalyst that pushes them over the edge. Plus, it sends a clear message to the rest of the league that Washington is all in, ready to compete at the highest level, and willing to make bold moves to get there. Now, looking forward, what does this mean for the season ahead? Well, if Moore joins the team, the offensive scheme might need some adjustments to maximize his talents, but Daniels is already showing promise as a quarterback who can connect with his receivers quickly and efficiently. The coaching staff, led by Ron Rivera, has been emphasizing a balanced attack, but with Moore's speed and route-running ability, the team could lean even more heavily on the passing game, which would open up options for play action and deep shots. That could be exactly what Washington needs to surprise some of the league's more established defenses. And don't forget, the defense is also trending upward, with some young talent and veteran leadership that could carry the team through tough games. So, in summary, guys, this potential DJ Moore trade is more than just a roster move. It's a statement. It's about the Commanders positioning themselves for a serious run, making bold moves to improve their chances, and perhaps most importantly, giving their fans something to get excited about heading into what could be a pivotal season. Whether or not this trade materializes, it's clear that Washington is thinking big, and that's exactly the kind of attitude that can lead them back to relevancy, and who knows, maybe even deep into the playoffs. The NFC East is tightening up, and the Commanders are right in the middle of the action, ready to make a splash. So stay tuned because the offseason is far from over, and the next few weeks could bring some shocking developments that will shape the future of this franchise. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential DJ Moore trade? Do you think it's a game changer? Are you excited about the possibility of seeing Moore in the burgundy and gold? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the future of this team. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more analysis, and all the latest news from the Washington Commanders. So make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and stay with us because this offseason is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, let's go Commanders!